All right, people, welcome back. Real Tough Talk. Stephen J. Ghost. Definitely going to get into the second half of the games. The first game we want to talk about is Don't Sleep versus Grind Time. Now, Don't Sleep is coming off of a huge upset win, beating Blackout. Definitely a huge win. Definitely a team that's used to doing this as they beat Blackout in the championship in BQFL. They was able to upset them as the 7 beat the 2. Now, this is not the first time in UFL history that this happened. A few years back, if people remember, Rawness, who was the number 2 seed, lost to the number 7 seed, Riot Squad. So these upsets don't usually happen, but they happen. And this is one that happened here. Grind Time is coming off of their bye, guys. They locked up the number 1 seed, and now we got to see if they keep into form as they start their playoff run in their how would you say, on their road to trying to get to their 3rd consecutive championship.
And listen, the thing about Don't Sleep is they were the team that had more energy in that last game against Blackout. They clearly showed it. They really fought for that win, did whatever they had to, even though they were a team that didn't have as much, I would say, what is the word, firepower or talent merited for, comparing them to Blackout. Like Blackout had more firepower, talent, I believe so. But this team came out and they showed they had fire, they had the energy, they used their anything that they could to win that game, including using their feet, their defense and everything, and eventually they end up in this stage facing Grind Time. And Grind Time, they're doing pretty much what they always do to make it back into where they need to be at. They have their guys, they use their led by Lou, and led by their defense. They show that they belong here for a reason, and that's why they're here again.
And the last time these two teams faced each other, Grind Time came in with the win, but it was a close win, 12-6. Lou threw 2 touchdown passes, both to Shah, and Reem didn't have a great game as he threw 1 touchdown pass and threw 2 interceptions. Now we're here in this game. Reem is not going to be present. He's away at Nationals. That's going to hurt. Their draft pick, of course, which was a bust, and Femi, that was one of the worst draft picks ever in UFL history. Even though this was the first draft, that was the worst pick of ever. This goes down with some of the worst picks ever, down with the Kwame Brown, that type of draft pick, drafting Femi, who didn't barely show up, and when he did, gave you absolutely nothing. They don't have Reem, they don't have Lil, so this team is kind of going to be on the ropes. Heck won't be able to play due to personal issues. So this team is well depleted in the amount of guys that they have for this game.
And that's definitely going to affect them in a game like this. They're facing one of the best defenses in the league in Grind Time. They're facing so much for guys that have experience being in the championship, so they know exactly what to do in these types of moments. So Don't Sleep needed everybody that they could get in this game, and some of the key figures that they missing are going to be needed and missed in this game against Grind Time.
And Grind Time's going to have all their guys, and they're definitely going to have their drafted player, Prince Moore, at this game. We're going to jump into the game. Mike is going to get the start. Mike started before this season, played pretty decent. Not an elite quarterback, but definitely a capable backup. We're going to have to see what he do as he gets to start. After getting the first down, Mike is blitzed by Prince, blocked by Rob. Mike rolls right, throws an A on the sideline for a decent gain. 3rd down, Mike off 4 rush, throws a Sherm in the front of the end zone, all target incomplete. Don't Sleep can't get any further, and they're going to turn over the ball on downs, giving Grind Time back the ball.
And obviously, because they're missing their quarterback and they're missing a couple of their key players, they weren't able to start off on a good foot on this first drive. Mike doing his best the way he's been doing all season. It's still not enough. And again, I say it again, they're facing one of the best defenses in the league with Grindtime here. So it's not going to be an easy battle here, and they've come up short in this first drive. They turn over the ball.
Lou gets the ball with blocker from E-Rock, throws to Anthony in the gap, who runs on the sideline for a big gain and a first down. Now, I know we've seen Prince Mole, we've seen Davin, those guys has been making plays, but people forget Anthony's a former all-star. This kid can make plays and showing the ability to keep doing that. Great play there. Lou with blocker from E-Rock, throws to Yomi cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Mike never looks and sees Yomi behind him until it's too late. Prince Mo gets the 2-point conversion. That's going to be 8-0 Grindtime. Now that they got Yomi back healthy and he doesn't have to block as they're using E-Rock to block, this is an even more dangerous passing attack. Once you see Yomi's able to get behind the defense, that's trouble. They have a lot of other weapons, and now you add Yomi, a sizable tight end that has good hands. That's very, very, very much going to make this passing attack that much more elite.
And the thing about this throw is we criticize Lou this season for not being the same as he was the previous season. But this throw shows that at any given time, you can connect with his guys and get into the end zone. He shows it here with this excellent throw to Yomi right behind Mike before Mike can react. This is him connecting with his receiver, especially Yomi. Like you said, they're a more dangerous offense if they can connect a lot more like that. But they first get into the end zone with this touchdown here.
After getting the first down, Mike runs in the gap for a nice gain in the first down. Third down, Mike with blocker from Rob. Rolls right and throws a macho in the back of the end zone. Picked off by Day Day, giving Grindtime back the ball. Now Luke gets flagged for cursing, but they're still able to come away with a big interception, and that's 2 stops in a row by this number 3 ranked Grindtime defense.
And Day Day's been showing late in the season that he can make some plays on this Grindtime defense, and he gets an interception here, comes away big, because if he's not there to make a play like this probably would have been touchdown, because Macho is open. If Day Day does not be there to make a play on it, that's the way to read the offensive play and cut off the ball and get the big interception for his team.
Second down at the 10-yard line. Lou, a blocker from E-Rock, scrambles and throws to Anthony cutting in the middle. Bobbled by Chris, caught by Anthony for a nice gain. Let's look at the beginning of the play, because Don't Sleep was upset because a few guys, they wasn't really upset. They thought it should have been a holding, which would have caused a safety. But if you look at this play, they're not holding. These guys are battling crazy. That Rob, and let me tell you something, E-Rock is a very good blocker. But Rob has showed the ability to bring pressure on any blocker in this league. He gets E-Rock down, as you see. He kind of throws E-Rock to the ground, brings the pressure to Lou and throws it. Chris jumps up and has a clear interception, bobbles the ball, and Anthony gets the ball back. Forget the questionable safety, which we see clearly wasn't a hold. Chris has to hold on to this. He's better than that. I've seen him make these plays that would have stopped Grindtime in their tracks. He bobbles the ball, and Anthony's able to get the ball back. Tell me what you thought about the play yourself.
And first of all, the fact that Rob is able to push him back pretty much 10 yards into the end zone, that's impressive. And the thing about it, that just shows that E-Rock is not enough to block this man Rob when he's coming in at full speed. So that's a good rush right there. The thing about it though is, as Lou's rolling out, he throws to Anthony. It's overthrown. It's off target. So this is a chance for the defense to make a play, and Chris drops interception. Like you said just now, Chris is good at making these types of plays, but this is a key moment where you need it more than ever, and he's not able to hold on to it. That is a big missed opportunity, because that falls right into Anthony's hand, and they get some extra yardage that they could have got, that could have went the other way. Now Grindtime's out of the danger zone with them not being in the red in their own red zone right now.
Third and long, Lou throws to Anthony on the sideline. That's going to be dropped. Grindtime is going to have to punt. Now, definitely that's a good stop for your defense, but if you're able to get that interception, you start off in Grindtime's red zone. They get the ball back. Mike with blocker from Rob is still sacked by Mijo. Mijo's definitely one of the best givers of all time, comes away with a huge sack. Mike then with 2 players getting into the 45-yard line. 4th down. Mike with a quick pass to Joel in the middle. That's going to be dropped. Turnover on downs. That would have been a 1st down. 2 crucial mistakes by this don't sleep team to see on back-to-back possession. Back-to-back series on the defense, we've seen them do it, and now on the offense.
And the thing about this is, like we said before in the last drive, every single play for Don't Sleep counts. It matters. They cannot afford to miss opportunities. And here, with the quick pitch pass to Joel is not prepared for the pass and he ends up dropping the ball. So these guys got to be on the same page. They got to make their job easier for themselves, because if not, they're going to lose opportunities that Grindtime is not going to really be looking to give up much of. So they got to make these plays when they have them, and they don't, and at least a big turnover there.
Lou throws Rico on the sideline for a nice gain, getting to the 25-yard line. 2nd down, Lou on 4 rush, throws to Bo, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Sherm points him out, but no one picks him up. 14-0, Grindtime take the 2-score lead.
And the thing about this play is, if you look, Sherm is pointing him out for the rest of the defense to pick him up, but he's the only person left back there. Maine is locked up on somebody. You have all the other defenders locked up on somebody. So the only other person that's there that's available to go after Bo is Sherm. But Sherm is standing there, and look, after the play, as Bo goes for the touchdown catch, Sherm is still guarding nobody. So he was the last option to guard Bo. He does not go with him. That is a missed defense right there, and Bo's left wide open for the touchdown.
During the kick return, Sherm's going to run in the middle. Ruben misses the tag. Sherm's going to run it all the way on the sideline for the touchdown. If you look here, Grindtime is going to challenge that Lou made a tag. Tell me what you see.
And when you look here, first of all, the refs got to look at the play, and you look, the first tag with Ruben, because Grindtime believed that Ruben got him first. If you look here, Ruben misses him. He does not get him. Sherm gets by him, and he's able to run towards the sideline. But if you look here with Lou just gets him on the back as Sherm runs on the sideline. Lou is the last guy left to make a play. And luckily, since Lou is the guy throwing off the ball, he's the last person back there. He's able to go and get him. And this is a great play by Lou, focusing on the play, knowing what's happening, and goes after him. He just makes a tag, and it's ruled overturned to bring back the touchdown. They get the ball at the opposing 40-yard line. That is a big play by Lou, stopping a touchdown, preventing them from getting into the end zone.
And why? Why is that huge? Mike on 4 rush, throws a macho in the middle, off target, picked off by Prince, taking us into the half, 14-0 Grindtime.
That is a huge play, especially when you're the quarterback, the last line of defense. You go after them, make a key play, and they were confident knowing that somebody got them, so that's a good challenge. Some teams end up in this moment during the playoffs, and they don't take a shot, taking a challenge. When it's a key play like this, Grindtime is not one of those teams. They get the challenge, and they get the overturn play because it leads to them getting the interception. So this is them understanding the situation and making the right decisions. Their defense is looking good, making the stops that they need, and their offense, when I say Lou is looking like the Lou of last year in this game, this is what Grindtime needs. He's able to find his receivers, make some accurate passes. They are in the lead in terms of momentum and everything that they're supposed to do. And if they're able to finish with this momentum, they're in for sure to win this game.
I'm frustrated if I don't sleep. I don't care that Reem ain't here. I don't care that I don't have my drive pick here. I don't care if I have Lil here. I'm mad because we had 3 plays that we did not make. 3. We dropped the interception, which would have put us in the red zone. We got the ball back on that drive. We stopped them. Then we couldn't get the first down because we dropped the ball here that caused us not to pick up the first down. And then when we get an opportunity to score, Sherm gets tagged by the kicker, who's actually the quarterback. That can't happen. There was no way Sherm should allow Lou to make this tag. It's Sherm and Lou one-on-one. It's the playoffs. It's about who's making plays. That's why it's called play-offs. You have to make a play or you're going to get off. That's the bottom line. And don't sleep, even though they are lacking the talent today, they are still a team and they're not making a plays. It's like the plays. It's like they want to get off the field because it just gave you 3 opportunities that they lost. So don't give me who's not here. You had opportunities for this game, and you have to just work with who's there. Who cares who's not there? You got people there. Do you got humans there? Do they got a pulse? Do they breathe? Then they can play. You remember what they said in Predator? If it bleeds, we can kill it. I don't know what reference I have to do with this game. But it makes a lot of sense with this situation.
Listen, first of all, the whole playoff analogy, you fixed it in the end with the if they don't play, they got to get off the field. You got to finish it because to say if they don't play, they're gonna get off. Watch that. But at the end of the day, it makes sense when you finish it right. They were supposed to take every opportunity they can and make plays when they need to, and they did not do that in the first half. So now they are on the catch-up in the second half. They have to make everything count in this next half. Otherwise, Grindtime is going to run away with this game.
All right, we're going to jump into the second half. Grindtime gets the ball. They end up punting. Remember, it's 14-0. Mike gets the ball back for Don't Sleep. He's going to run in the gap, but Joel gets flagged for a block in the back. And after Jigga is ejected for cursing. Now, we already know Jigga got ejected. Tell me about Joel's block in the back. Was this a block in the back?
And I believe here, this was definitely a block in the back on Jigga. That's unfortunate because
Joel, you mean?
They're trying to make a play. They're trying to get as much yardage as they possibly can. But Joel just gets beat by Jigga to the position, and he makes a block in the back. And again, these plays, you're trying to do the best you can to get something that make something work. But unfortunately, he gets called for the block in the back, bringing that play all the way back 10 yards. So they get an extra 5 from the cursing after the play, but that still takes away a lot more yardage than they gained on the play. So they pretty much start back on square one.
And I'm glad you cleared it up because a lot of people would say, well, why didn't these penalties offset? Well, because it was a block in the back, which
during the play.
Flag was already good during the play. After the play was over, it was already over, Jigga cursed. So they got the 10 yards for the block in the back, and then they got the 15 yards for Jigga's curse. So that's, like you said, it only equal to 5 yards, basically. Don't Sleep can't do anything further than that, and they're gonna turn the ball over. Grindtime gets the ball back. First down, Lou blocker from Yomi, throws deep to Prince Mo, who has a step on Mike in the gap, caught in the back of the end zone. What a touchdown. Mike picks him up too late and gets beat 20-0. Grindtime up 3 scores.
And listen, if they have the defense that they have here playing the way they are, and they have Lou making these throws, these accurate throws downfield, when you have plays like this where he's making accurate throws downfield, that makes Joseph's job that much harder. He's been doing it all game in the first half, and he's still doing it in the second. Lou is on fire at this point, and this defense has no answer for him right now.
After getting the first down, Mike throws a Sherm in the gap for a decent gain. Fourth down at the 30, Mike is blitzed by Prince, blocked by Rob. Mike throws it up, tipped, picked off by Prince Mo. Ending the game, Grindtime comes away with the win, 20-0.
Listen, you knew that this game was over once you start. First of all, so many guys played big for this Grindtime team. Yomi made his presence felt in this game, at the blocker position and at the tight end position / receiver position, starting the game with a touchdown. And then on that last touchdown for Prince Mo, he was the one blocking. And who was he blocking there? He's blocking Rob, the guy who was giving E-Rock a problem. Now Yomi's there to give you Lou time. When Lou has time, Lou is able to make these throws easily. And that's exactly what happened. So you got to give the shout outs to these guys blocking and giving them time. And this defense, yes, Jigga got ejected, but the job was already done with him setting up the defense to lock down, don't sleep, and not give them nothing. This grind time team, when they're able to play like this, it's going to make any team that they face job harder, especially when you have Lou looking like the MVP Lou of last year. This is the champion, the grind time team that made it to the championship the last couple of years, and this is the grind time team that's gonna make it again if they keep playing like this. After the game, we had an interview with Jigga, captain of grind time, and we had to see what he had to say after the game.
What's going on? We talking to Jigga, defensive captain of Grind Time. What you knew that Don't Sleep didn't have their starting quarterback. You knew that they was missing a few players, but it seemed like y'all wanted to get in and get out this game. Y'all wanted to end it early. Was that the mindset coming in the game?
Of course. All season, I told my guys before the game, all season we've been playing close games, barely winning, but we've been winning the games, At this game, I said we're going to come out hard, we're going to get a stop, we're going to score, we're going to get another stop, we're going to score again. And at that point, we was up 14-zip. We know we was a little more confident being up 14-zip with getting the ball back second half.
Let's talk about that play real quick. Lou with the game-saving, not the game, the momentum-changing tag on the kickoff that they could have ran back. When was the last time you see Lou run like that to make a play like that?
To be honest, I can't tell you when, but all that goes to show you that the grind don't stop. The grind don't stop with Lou and everybody else on the team. Lou knew he had to make a play at that moment, regardless if he thought a play happened up there. He made a play, and it helped because when you go back and look at it, he made the tackle.
This is your third straight Final Four. What does that say about your team to be in 3 Final Fours in a row?
Well, we're hungry. We always hungry. We've been hungry since day one. Even when we was playing with other teams, we shown we was hungry. And this game right here, it's a big game for others, but for us, it's just a regular game. It's a regular game that we got to make sure we get over the hump to get to the next level. You understand? It is a father versus son's game, but we just coming out to play. Lou don't play defense. We play defense. Me and my other coach, we play defense. So we play defense. Lou scores. We're gonna do what we do.
2 more questions. This one is really I really want to know this one. Did y'all rather face Chuck knowing the fact that he's still upset? A few years back, you had an opportunity to play out in the Final Four. He was out of town. Now he's back to have an opportunity to play against y'all, which he wanted at that time. Is any part of presence from that leaks into this game?
Of course. We all know, back then when he was supposed to play, he wasn't there. It would have been probably a different game for them on that offensive side. But defensive mindset, Jalen would tell you, we come to play every game the same game. And knowing Chuck is, one of the best out here, we still gonna come to play. And as long as we make enough stops, we just gotta make sure we score. That's all.
Last question. 8-1. Drafted Prince Mo. Signed Prince. Made some key pickups. Are you captain of the year this year?
For me, I thought I was the captain of the year last year. We made it to the championship, but I always try to put my effort in all. Even if I got to play both sides, if we down some, I always feel like it. The guys listen to me. I had a bad mistake this game, but it's something I always feel like I'm always captain of the year because my guys do listen to me.
Don't be nice. You're battling Kaz. You're battling Doughboy. Do you feel the moves you made all the way go down to 8th, get Prince Mo at 8, go out, get Prince, make these key pickups? Are you captain of the year? Do you think you're captain of the year? Say it with your soul.
Of course. I'm captain of the year. I've been captain of the year since day one. I made the best pickups this year. Nobody can tell me I didn't make the best pickups. My defense is number 1, even if the stats don't tell you. We are number 1 defense since day one. And I always got the number 1 quarterback. Lou is always gonna be number 1 quarterback for me. He's my number 1 quarterback. With the number 1 quarterback, number 1 defense, why could I not be captain of the year? You understand? So I'm definitely captain of the year.
All right. And as far as he says, Lou, it's funny because Lou had a down year, but he was, I believe, top 3 in touchdown passes. So, I mean, he gets the Aaron Rodgers kind of thought because, some numbers other quarterbacks wish they had. So his numbers are different. So I think he gets a little of a bad rap. But we're going to thank Jigga for being here. They're in the Final Four. This is their 3rd Final Four in a row. DG and Chuck and Pams are standing their way from getting to their 3rd consecutive championship. We're going to have to see how it turns out next week. Don't Sleep was missing their playmakers. You got to call a spade a spade. You got to be honest. But they made too many mistakes. I don't care who they didn't have here. They had opportunities in this game, similar to opportunities they got in the blackout game, and they just didn't capitalize on the opportunities given to them. So you're going to look and see 20-0 and be like, damn, we was missing guys. That's why we lost. No, it wasn't. You didn't make the plays necessary to make when you were given the opportunities. That's what cost you the game. But they definitely had a pretty decent run in this playoffs, getting to the second round as they beat Blackout in the first round. Now, people are going to ask, as we've been doing it, going over the board, and in my look, Don't Sleep will be getting the 7th pick in the draft. When I look at this team, I'm going to look at the numbers. You'll see the numbers on screen. All we're going to go over is their numbers. Don't Sleep was 9th in offensive efficiency, 31%, 31.9%. They scored touchdowns, which is low. That was 9th. In defense, they gave up touchdowns 42.5% of the time, which is good for 13th. They was the second worst in the league at giving up points. Right. The only team that was worse than Don't Sleep as far as efficiency was Never Scared at 48%. But Don't Sleep had a terrible efficiency defensively. As far as their offensive points, Don't Sleep was 11th in scoring and 9th in defensive points given up. So that was bad. The stuff with Femi fell through. So technically, Don't Sleep would get 2 picks in the draft. They would get a pick in 7th, and then once all the teams go, they would get 1 more because each player that's been drafted serves a 2-year contract. So now you figure who would they draft now and then worry about whoever's left later. There's one man that I feel could come to this team, could make plays, not going to bring issue, not going to bring any type of craziness, but definitely could bring an intensity, definitely a great player. And to me, with the number 7 pick in the UFL draft, if I'm Don't Sleep, I'm picking up a former UFL MVP, Puka. If this team can go and draft a guy like Puka, a guy who's clearly dominant on both sides of the ball, a guy clearly is going to bring the intensity, a guy who's clearly been to 2 championships appearances, also a former all-star MVP. This is exactly what they need to pick up for where they messed up with Femi. No disrespect to Femi, he can't hold Puka's cleats.
Did you say he was a former MVP?
Correct.
The former league MVP and
former league MVP and all-star MVP. One of the best, one of the top UFL players of all time. If I'm Don't Sleep, I'm drafting Puka.
I mean, yes. Puka's a guy that fits their energy, in my opinion, especially in the backfield. He's a guy that can lock up on any position. He's fast enough to make many plays downfield. So I think that extra pusher, that extra player that they need. And that's gonna fit into the scheme of Maine when he's setting up the defense. Puka fits just right into the defense. And then you also
I'm sorry to cut you off. Puka and Maine played together on the Browns.
Yes.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So, they fit well together. They've worked together before. So I think that he will definitely help Don't Sleep defense. And of course, he's going to be a burner offense as well. He's going to be a guy that stretches the field. He's a guy that has moves that can make moves in space. He's probably one of the most elusive guys that the league has ever seen. So he gives you all of these things all in one package. So I think that he is a perfect pick for Don't Sleep. In all honesty, I think that he'd be a sleeper pick if a lot of teams let him go so low.
Yeah, if he goes that far down in 7th,
yes.
I agree. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. Grindtime moves on to the Final 4. Don't Sleep ends their playoff run. Grindtime coming away with the win, 20-0. We'll be right back.
Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob.
Next game up, we're going to have Braulio versus UTF. Now, Braulio is coming off of a surprising win, beating the Raiders, a 6 beating a 3. UTF is coming off of a bye as they was able to win the division and lock up the #1 seed. And now they're playing their first game. Last time these teams played, UTF won, beating them 18-7. But Braulio had no Dave. So Matrix and Happy both threw, and they went 1-for-1 as Jeremy threw, and he threw 3 touchdown passes. Now, this game, because of personal issues, Braulio will not have Dave, their starting quarterback, or Asa, their backup quarterback, and they're going to be going to their 3rd string Matrix.
And this is a huge loss for this Braulio team. They came out hot with that big game against the Raiders. They didn't score that much, but they got just enough done to win the game. So they were going away. They were coming into this game with the same approach, but they still need their quarterback to do what he needs to do to keep their offense on the field and keep the opposing team off. So there was a whole strategy coming up for this team, for this game. Unfortunately, they're not able to run it the same way because Dave is not on the field, and neither is Asa. Asa did okay as well with when they had that 3-game streak. 2 of those games, Asa quarterback. So this is a big loss when you have your backup and your starting quarterback not in the game, and then you have your 3rd string in Matrix. That this is not what he was drafted for. Not drafted for this. So they also lose a receiver on offense. Now you also have to have him worried about quarterbacking, so that may decline his play on defense. So there's so much that you lose if you're Braulio. This is not a good moment for them, and they're gonna have a tough game against this UTF team that comes away with a bye, fully rested, ready to go for this game.
And UTF, listen, they have been a surprise team all season. I believe they started 5-0.
Yeah.
Definitely a team that got a lot of people to jump on the bandwagon. A lot of people say this is no longer UTF, that they'll say that it's more YMM now because they got Jeremy, Puto, Kaka, Josh, Randy, Mamba, Dev. So they said this is more of a YMM team. Listen, G. Listen, they still got Frankie out there. They still got Charles out there. They still got a few guys that's for UTF. They still got Flo, their coach. They still got Mike, their owner. So it's a mixture. Listen, you had to go out and get this talent, especially after you lost Ramsey. You cut Ramsey, was trying to drive Corey, shut Corey down, brung in Jeremy. You knew that was going to happen. I don't care what it is. At the end of the day, this team won the division. That's all that matters. And the names on their team is UTF. I don't get caught up in that other stuff. A lot of people have been saying a lot of things change. We haven't really seen Machine out there back on this team, even though he's healthy now. We haven't seen Los, and I'm not going to really get into all that. At the end of the day, this team needs to focus on what they're doing, and Jeremy can be possibly this team's MVP and definitely be up there for the Johnny Rockstar Heart and Determination Award, because this man was wanting to play all sides of the ball. Randy up there for Defensive Player of the Year. So they got some guys that's up there for some awards, but they are playing against Wakanda, who's up there for not only Defensive Player of the Year, he's up there for Rookie of the Year. So Jeremy has to be careful. Wakanda's top of interceptions, try to neutralize him. Don't allow him to make plays. Use your feet. He's been the most elusive quarterback in the league, and he ran them all the way to a division win.
And just to be quick on both teams, in terms of UTF, listen, I can't complain about UTF and the outcome for this team, regardless of what they did, what people feel. They are the number one. They are pretty much number one in the division for a reason. And when they decided to make Jeremy their A player, you got to make him comfortable, and you got to surround him with guys that's going to make him comfortable and play at his best. And that's his YMM guys. A lot of his YMM guys was able to come over and contribute in the way that they need to make Jeremy that much better. And I think that it worked at the end of the day. They stayed, clinched their division, Number one, even though they were on a 3-game losing streak, they beat them Gators to clinch their division. So regardless of what decisions was made, regardless of how people feel about the YMM guys taking over the team or whatever, the point is this is a team on a championship run. And I think that at this point, they made a good decision with the way they move forward.
All right. We already told you the matchups. We're going to jump right into the game. Braulio gets the ball first. After getting the first down, Matrix with blocking from Happy, throws a VIP in the middle for a nice gain. Third down, Matrix on 4 rush, runs on the sideline, getting into the 10-yard line. 4th and goal, Matrix on 4 rush is sacked by Randy. Turnover on down. If you look here, nobody's open, and UTF is able to make the stop. The key thing about this, why Randy's so dangerous, they put him at safety, the guy had 5 interceptions. They move him at ball giver, he has 2 to 3 sacks. That's why he's up there for defensive play of the year. He's been able to move to different spots, impact the game, comes away with a huge sack here.
And the thing about it is, when you look at Randy play, he doesn't seem like a guy that can be a defender of that caliber. He doesn't look that fast. He doesn't look, that skilled on defense. But he's there and able to get to these plays, regardless of where the ball is thrown. And when you put him at ball giver, he's too strong for a lot of blockers to keep him inside from not pressuring the quarterback. So whatever you put him in, he's going to make a big play. That's exactly what happened with him on UTF, and that is why he was so successful this season. He is a good player no matter where you put him.
Jeremy gets the ball back. 3rd down, Jeremy on 4 rush, throws to Dev in the middle, low, but still caught by Dev for a nice game. Listen, Dev is another guy that's helping this UTF offense. We've seen him make some big kick returns. This kid is dangerous. Great play there. 4th down with blocker from Frank. Jeremy runs in the gap, gets by Flash. With blocker from Mamba, Jeremy runs for a huge gain and a 1st down. Jeremy is the most elusive quarterback in this league. You cannot let him move around in the pocket and run because he will hurt you. This is a huge run by Jeremy here.
And second only to Shannon, this guy Jeremy is able to make some of the hugest runs we've seen all season. And the thing about it is, I believe that he was a little more elusive than Shannon this season in terms of running in the pocket and running downfield. Shannon beats you by speed. As soon as he makes that one move, he's gone. With Jeremy, he runs one way and he's able to cut at a moment's notice, making guys miss. And I've never seen nobody else play making those types of moves at quarterback, running down the field. And that's one of the main reasons why they were so successful, because at any given moment, Jeremy's able to make a 40-yard run. When they're struggling on offense, he's able to make a big play, and that's no different there.
3rd and goal, Jeremy throws a Randy, cutting in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Deb gets the extra point. 7-0 UTF. If you look here, Wakanda steps up to help and leaves Randy wide open for the touchdown.
And that is all because of that huge run. Now you have to respect that he may take off, or he may also earn some extra time in the pocket by scrambling. So Wakanda's worried about if he's going to rush in, but by the time he steps up, he leaves Randy open. If he's here in this position, he stays there, he's probably able to make a play on this ball right here. Yep. But unfortunately, because he moves out of position, Randy's left open for the touchdown. The thing about this is, in the beginning of the season, you would have thought that Randy was going to run away with them scoring points and whatnot, and then it became Mamba. So Randy is just as efficient as a receiver getting into the end zone, and Jeremy's able to find him in.
Braulio can't do nothing to move the ball, and they're going to end up having to punt. 3rd and long, Jeremy with blocker from Frankie, runs in the middle for a nice gain. 4th down, Jeremy, who's blitzed by Flash, throws a Mamba in the middle, high, tipped by Mamba, picked off by Matrix, giving Braulio the ball, but Flash gets called for cursing and going to move them back after the interception.
Listen, I get that Flash is excited on this big play here. He did contribute because on the blitz, he was able to put pressure on Jeremy, getting through the block, so he's hyped. Matrix able to make a big play, but that 15-yard loss before your offense even gets on the field, that is a huge blow, especially when you're struggling to get anything going. You don't have no real quarterbacks out here besides Matrix, so you cannot afford to lose these yards. These are key, and Flash has to keep his composure regardless of how hype he is, but unfortunately, they have to start on offense 15 yards back.
Matrix gonna throw to Felipe, who pitched it to Happy, running for a decent gain and the first down. Happy believe he wasn't tagged and spikes the ball and get flagged. What do you think of the play?
And this is another play where they lose their composure. Yes, Happy, if you look at this play, there is a point where it looks like he does get flagged without getting tagged. Yes. Does that happen in TFL? Of course it does. So Happy got to understand and keep his composure, because this is not a game that you can afford to get flagged and lose yardage. Unfortunately, that is another 15 yards loss for unsportsmanlike conduct, and that is a big blow to their offense.
Braulio can't do anything on the drive, and they're going to end up punting. UTF can't do nothing to score before the half, and we go into the half 7-0 UTF.
30 yards lost overall on that last drive by Braulio. On a team that's struggling to get anything going. You're facing a team in UTF that has all the guys that they need to win this game. You come up short, and then your guys are making mistakes, getting flagged. That 30-yard drive, right? That's 30. That's almost half the field right there that you lost before you even get a chance to get your offense going. So you guys gotta hold your composure. You gotta make the plays that you need to make. Right now, as bad as it is, you're only losing 7-0. So you're still in this game. Make a big play in the second half, and this is a completely different game. But again, it all starts with you guys holding your composure. If they're able to do that and score quickly in the second half, I think they have an opportunity to to go back and forth with this UTF team, but they just got to make a good start in the second half.
If I'm UTF, this makes no sense. We're better than this team. They're down to their third string quarterback. Time to put the pedal to the metal. Let Jeremy run us all the way to the next round. We're not worrying about their offense. They have none. They had none with their starting quarterback. So we're not going to worry about them with their third quarterback. We need to run the ball and score some quick points and send this team back. We're going to jump into the second half. CF gets the ball 4-0. Jeremy's going to throw to Charles, who shakes Felipe, but attempts to pitch it to Ricky, and it's caught by VIP to get Braulio the ball back. So that's kind of like a fumble, interception. At the end of the day, they give the ball back to Braulio. Braulio was a team top in interceptions, top making plays that side of the ball. Make another play here. Great play by them.
And this was an unnecessary pitch. How many times have we seen unnecessary pitches go the other way to the other team? You're driving, you're trying to get into the end zone. There's no reason to be greedy and try to get more than you already got. That was a good move by Charles. Leave it at that. Keep your offense going. But unfortunately, he decides on his own to make a pitch. VIP is able to read it and get a big play to get his offense back on the field. That's good defense by VIP.
Braulio gets the ball back, but they're going to struggle on this drive and end up having to punt the ball, giving it right back to UTF. Third down, Jeremy throws a mamba in the middle for a nice gain. Fourth down, Jeremy on 4 rush is sacked by Happy. Turnover on downs. Happy gets by G. If you look here, they say Jeremy's playing too close to the giver. That's going to turn the ball over. Let me tell you something. Jeremy and G has been off all season. G did not block for Jeremy. Jeremy moves too much in the pocket. G's used to Corey staying stationary and only running when it's time. That movement is the whole part of Jeremy's style. He likes to be active because then he gets to run and start to take off. It doesn't work with G. That's why you usually see Frankie, big sack by Happy to make a stop. Score's only 7-0. Great stop there. Matrix gets a ball on 4 rush. She's sacked by Randy. Like I said, Randy's been doing it on all over the defensive field. The guy can get you interceptions. The guy can make sacks. It's his second sack already. This guy is a playmaker, big play there. Matrix then with a screen pass to Wakanda. He's going to be tagged for no gain. Braulio has to punt again. I think it all led off by that big sack by Randy. Another stop by this UCF defense.
Listen, at this point, yes, it's 7-0, but you're not able to move the ball pretty much at all. At this point, you got to test the defense. You got to take shots downfield. You got to make something happen, because right now, this being safe and not trying to cause any turnovers or throw any interceptions, it's not helping. You're about to lose 7-0 because time is running out. Regardless of how close it is, you have to put points on the board. If that means taking shots, that's what you got to do. They don't do that here, and they turn the ball over, and they end up punting yet again in this game.
Jeremy gets the ball back with 3 passes in the gap, getting him to the 5-yard line. 4th and goal, Jeremy finds Brown in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Frankie gets the extra point, 14-0 UTF.
And this is UTF right here with Jeremy taking his time, driving down the field. If you see these 3 straight passes getting them into the red zone, including this pass by Mestre, this catch by Mestre, showing that it's not only UTF, it's not only YMM guys that's able to make plays on this team. Mestre showing that he is another weapon that teams got to worry about. Jeremy's able to connect with him and find Brown in the end zone. At this point, yes, they were not struggling. They were struggling throughout the game, but now it's pretty much them getting back on their feet, getting into the end zone, trying to put this game away right now.
Last play of the game, Happy's going to throw it up. It's going to be picked off by Randy. Ending the game, UTF moves on to the Final Four. Listen, like I said, you got to give Randy a game ball. Guy had 2 big sacks. Then the guy had a big interception. This guy is a playmaker. He's top defensive player of the year. He showed why this game, great game by this UTF team. We're going to talk to Jeremy. Then we're going to talk to the owner, Mike, and we'll talk to Wakanda Matrix for Braulio. We're going to be right back after all those interviews. What's going on? Stephen J here with Jeremy, starting quarterback of UTF. What was the strategy coming into this game?
Basically just not to play down to the competition. Play strong, do what we normally do, week in and week out.
You seem to want to kill a lot of the clock, ran a few plays. Was that the game plan coming in again, knowing that they had no quarterback, so they was hard going to be hard for them to score?
You could say that. First half, I believe I had to win, playing against the win. I wasn't trying to force anything deep. I just checked it down, tried to get down the field as easy as possible. And yeah, I guess run, time management. My team is proud of me. I really ain't even noticed. I was just playing the game.
You on to the Final Four next week, where you got the number 2 seed Monarchs. You beat them in the regular season. How big is that game for you personally?
Honestly, that's a regular football. That's a regular football game for me and my guys. I believe the Monarchs got more to prove than we do. You understand? We know where we going. It's chip or bust for us. That's all that needs to be said.
We're going to thank Jeremy for being here with us. Came away with the win. They're going to the Final Four. They beat Braulio 14-0. We're going to see you next week. What's going on? Stephen J here with Mike, the owner of UTF. What was y'all personally thinking coming into this game? You knew they didn't have both quarterbacks. How you was able to keep the guys' head knowing this was still a big game?
We just said from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? They came out here to ball out. They come here to play. So we got to play our game. You know what I'm saying? They come here at 7 strong, 8 strong. You know, they came out here to play. So we knew from the beginning, you know, can't play no games with them. Just come out here and take care of our business.
You deactivated Corey, made Jeremy a player, kind of risking your draft status next year. It seems like you put all the chips in the thing. Did Jeremy prove to be worth the risk?
He definitely did. Jeremy been doing his thing all season. Jeremy's been playing lights out all season from day one. You know, we had a little falling off. You know, we lost 3 in a row. You know, got shut out, but he bounced back. Took first place. Now we're in the Final Four.
How big is this game next week going up against the Monarchs with the starting quarterback that you released in Ramsey?
Well, I did it for a reason. You know, I released Ramsey for a reason. You know, he never got the job done. Now, you know, you got to face him in the playoffs, Final Four. Like
is this destiny?
Yeah, it's destiny. Of course, it's destiny. It's meant to be. You know, it's meant to be. Us against the Monarchs. It's meant to be. You know, Jeremy against Ramsey. I let go of Ramsey for a reason to prove, you know, Jeremy can do it. Let's make it happen. Next week, 9:30, we'll be here.
We're going to see y'all next week. Owner of UTF. He plays against the quarterback that he released next week to go to the chip. The football guys have spoken. We're going to have to see what the answer is next week. We're going to see you on the site. This is Stephen J, Real Tough Talk, starting with Matrix, quarterback of Braulio, coming away with a heartbreaking loss, 14-0. When did you find out you were starting? Your starting quarterback is out. Your backup quarterback is out. You're the number 3. When did you find out you were starting?
I think it was Thursday night I found out, and we tried a game plan, but this league is hard, man. to score in the UFL, like, you got to be a good quarterback. Like, the guys kill Ramsey, before, because the playoff and everything. And actually, he got a big win today, and you can't really kill nobody here. To score in this league is, I mean, you seen it today. We scored nothing, but it's tough, man. It's tough.
Your defense seemed to try to give y'all everything they had. Came out with a big interception. I mean, what can you tell them personally? The way they try to ball out, use a part of that defense. What did y'all come in defensively, knowing that both your starting quarterbacks is out?
We tried to do what we did today. I mean, which we did. I think we did great. We gave one big play to Jeremy when he ran 40 yards, and that was the play they scored. And the second touchdown, again, that was a late touchdown. It kind of put us away. But that first touchdown was big. But overall, defensively, we've been doing what we've been doing all year. And that's all we got asked for, to give us a chance. And we had the chance.
Nobody picked y'all to even be in the Elite 8. What did the team prove to you? You played in a lot of teams. What did this team personally prove to you today?
Oh, heart. We all got heart. And we kind of play. We don't give up. Like, you seen it today. We had 6, 7 guys to start the game. And to lose by 2 touchdowns, it's not bad, man. We all got heart. Every one of these guys got heart.
We're going to thank Matrix for being here. Great season. Guy tried his best, but they just came up short. We're going to see you on the site. All right.
Thank you, Jay.
What's going on? Stephen J here with Wakanda of Braulio. You possibly a Rookie of the Year, possibly Defensive Player of the Year, but they seem to kind of neutralize you today. They didn't allow you getting involved in the game, kind of took you out of the plays. When did you start knowing that they wasn't really going to really come at your side?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it a buck. Honestly, after the first play, the first drive, Matrix threw a beautiful ball to me right up the sideline. A little stop and go, you feel me, come back. It was a good play. I heard on the sideline, that's your last catch of the game. I knew it from there, you feel me? We don't have – the guys that we have work hard, you feel me? But we don't have those many. We don't have those stars that are already mentioned, named, one thing I want to do before I do, we continue.
Right.
Shout out to Damo, bro. You played a hell of a game today. I watched you. Good shit, boy. But also, you feel me? One thing that people forget is we are a defensive team.
Yes.
We held Jeremy and them to 7 points in one half. We made a mistake that caused a second. We had them, So certain things we got to learn as a team. We're going to grow. And we're going to learn, and we got to watch film. You see, like Saturdays, you do these things.
Yep.
We got to watch those, we got to hear the outsiders and see what they say, because some things are true. Today, I would say offensively, we just didn't hit our gaps. We got Flash, we got Ty, main receivers on our team. Most of our receivers are blockers today. We didn't have our full team. We didn't have Dave. We didn't have Asa. We didn't have Watch Me. We had certain people that weren't here today. It is what it is. But.
What did your personal thoughts when you found out that not only your starting quarterback was going to be out, your backup quarterback was going to be out? What did you feel you needed to do more when you heard that?
Yeah, honestly, I was not excited, but I was excited. You know why? Because we play excellent. When we get hit with big things, like minor setback real quick, but we play with major comebacks. We held a team that's offensively, as in running and passing, to 14 points. I'm pretty sure they are up in the rankings as in scoring wise, but to 14 points in a playoff game, come on now. You can't, what can you say about that? So that shows that, with everybody doubted us regardless.
Right.
But with that, we took it, ate it up, and we made plays at certain times. Just today wasn't our day. This was your rookie season in this league. What do you think of the league personally, your rookie season, your first year playing? Honestly, I like it a lot. You guys don't know is Dre is my cousin. Right. So I used to come out as a little kid and watch. Right. So it was kind of fun. I'm a basketball player. People don't really know that, but some people do. I naturally sport basketball. But today, knowing that, rookie season, football played, I love coming out. It's a great atmosphere. I can't wait to get it going again. So. Last question. You made the All-Star team.
which is I'm coaching, and the loser has to get a pie in the face between me and Ghost and each side. I want to know, because you're on my team, will you be coming in 2 weeks, January 30th, here for the All-Star game?
I'm here. I'm definitely here. See me? Why not? Let's play ball, bro.
You hear that, Ghost? Pie time. Just to let you know, we're going to thank Wakanda for being here. Guy could be a possible Rookie of the Year, could be a possible Defensive Player of the Year. This guy got a bright future. We're just going to have to see it and how it plays out. I'm going to see you on the side. Thank you, bro.
We're going to thank those guys for the interview. Definitely shout out to them for speaking.
Listen, you forgot that he also had a touchdown in this game. Yes, he was all over the defense, but he also had a touchdown. So this game had Randy written all over it. A touchdown, interception to close the game, and 2 big sacks to cause stops. So this guy, Randy, can do it in any part of the field. That is why UTF got him. That is why Jeremy has him. He is one of his burners on this team, and I didn't see no – and this is why – then you need Randy on a team with Jeremy there, because he's able to make plays like this and help this team immensely.
I'm going to jump to both teams real quick. Listen, UTF did what they did all season. They're not a high-power scoring team, but because of Jeremy's ability to scramble, he definitely kills a lot of clock, makes a lot of big plays, and then he's able to throw touchdowns.
Yes.
They scored on their first possession, and they scored on their last possession. That's all they needed, because Braulio showed absolutely no firepower. So at the end of the day, shout to UTF, moving on to the next round, and we'll go over that real quick after this. We'll talk about the Final Four really quick as we wrap up the show. But shout to UTF for moving on. Now, I'm gonna talk about Braulio. Braulio ends the season. They definitely played a decent season. They would have liked to play better. I'm looking at their numbers right here. I'm sorry. Their defensive numbers, their offensive numbers, they were 13th in offensive efficiency, which means how many times, the percentage that they score when they get the ball. They only scored 21.6% of the time. The only team worse than that was the Raiders. Their defense, listen, they were 3rd in efficiency. They only gave up scores 26% of the time. Only teams that did better than them was the Raiders and Grindtime. Other than that, their efficiency was better than Blackout, better than Monarchs. So their efficiency was great. So you got to say that. They only let teams score 26.7% of the time. That's great. The defense held them down. They were 2nd in the league in interceptions. Definitely something to talk about. Only Monarchs had more interceptions than Braulio. When you look at their defense, overall, the defense points they gave up, I'm looking at it. Their defense percentage that they gave up was, what the hell is it? My fault. Oh, the defensive points that they gave up offensively, your team was 14th in the league. They were the worst scoring offense in the league. They only scored 6.8 points a game. Their defense was 5th on points given up. They gave up 11. So this team is pretty good defensively. Their offense was terrible.
Yeah.
It was not able to make plays offensively. I believe Dave is going to retire, similar to what Phillip Rivers just did. I always said Dave reminds me of Phillip Rivers in UFL, and he's going to retire. And when I look at the paper, Braulio will have the number 9th pick in the draft. Well, you lost your quarterback. He's going to retire. You need a guy that knows offense, that's going to bring some offensive players. And me, this is the one that nobody's going to think about. But remember, this is my fantasy. Pick whoever the guys I want.
Yeah.
With the 9th pick in the UFL draft, if I'm Braulio, I'm drafting Jimmy Milo at quarterback. The guy just won EHS, just won a lot of money in EHS. The guy makes teams better. We've seen him play it in BQFL, which is a similar that year UFL, BQFL, when he played in Brooklyn. Similar rules, had the blitz and all that, so he knows about those rules. If I'm Braulio with the 9th pick, I'm signing a guy who could lead the team, who's going to bring offensive firepower with him, and is going to help us, especially with this defense backing him up. Matrix is definitely still on this team. Jimmy Milo with the 9th pick in the draft, if I'm them.
Listen, I didn't even know that Jimmy Milo would be an option. Hopefully
Listen,
he is.
this is my fantasy pick of all A players. I'm drafting Jimmy Milo.
Listen, again, that'll be awesome if he's an option for this Braulio team. To see another great quarterback like Jimmy Milo join the league and be able to compete when you had quarterbacks like Chuck the GOAT, you had
Reggie,
Fred, you had
Lou,
Fred, all of these great quarterbacks here.
Adi.
And then you have, obviously you got to throw Corey in there. So
yeah.
All of these great quarterbacks, and to have Jimmy Milo join the list of quarterbacks that play in this league, that'll be a treat, a thing to see, and that'll be a thing to I'm at a loss for words. If he's able to be an option, I will be hyped to watch those games. So that's literally what Braulio needs. A guy that can bring some fire, I would say some efficiency to their offense, because they did not have that all season. So that's a good pick, a good hypothetical pick, because we don't know if that's possible.
Right.
Again, I see you just throwing it out there in the ether. I like how you're doing that. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. That's going to be an interesting thing if that moment comes up.
Okay. Really quick, we're going to wrap the show up. We're going to go over the 2 Final Four games. And I want to know what your takeaway is. You got Monarchs facing UTF, the number 1 versus the number 2. You had UTF able to pull out a win in this game, beating the Monarchs. They faced their former quarterback Ramsey, a guy who led the league in touchdown passes last year, a guy who's leading the league in touchdown passes this year, with a team that defense that is actually the leader in interceptions. Going up against Jeremy, one of the best runners in the league, but unfortunately the blocking has not been great. He's been sacked a few times. Damo's going to be coming after him with this Monarchs attack. Jeremy kind of was up there in interceptions, kind of got a lot of turnovers. Now, don't get me wrong, Randy, Mamba, they're going to make plays. Charles is going to get opportunities at the safety with Ramsey throwing. So this is definitely a sight to be seen when these 2 teams collide. What are you expecting?
And this is a thing, a thought that troubled me, as I saw the last couple playoff games. And right now, watching UTF play, they didn't have as great offense as they needed in this game. It kind of reminded me of when they were struggling to score in the regular season, when they went on that 3-game losing streak. So that
UTF finished the season 7th in scoring. Go ahead.
Yes. So, they were up there in scoring at first, and then they dropped immensely towards the end of the season. So that worries me when it comes to UTF, but their defense always looks solid. So that is a good thing. That is a shining light on UTF. In terms of Monarchs, their defense, we already know what they can do. Leading interceptions. They also up there in sacks because of Damo putting pressure on the quarterback.
Third in sacks.
Yes. So they are number 1 in interceptions, number 3 in sacks. Overall, that just looks at a potential number 1 defense right there, even though they're not number 1 in the listing. At the end of the day, their defense is going to make things happen. Their offense, though, I'm a little worried. After watching that last game against Rep City, Ramsey did not look his best in that game. And I've seen him play better games against worse teams. So that worries me. And that's kind of what has me, torn in terms of who may come out on top in the next game. I think that both teams still have a couple of problems that they're going to run into in the next game because of how they looked in this game. But I see, surprisingly so, I see UTF coming away with this win 20-13, well, 19-13, I would say. Let me correct that, because I see Ramsey making mistakes in this game. He did not make any mistakes in that other game against UTF when they battled it out back and forth. Ramsey was efficient to a T. The only play that was there was an interception that was from a drop pass and a couple of drop touchdown passes. But Ramsey played his best in that game. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to play his best in this game. I think he's going to make mistakes. That's going to give UTF the edge, and I think they're going to win 19-13.
All right. The next game we're going to go over real quick, Grindtime versus DG, them getters. Grindtime, the number 1, DG, the number 4. Grindtime played them in a regular season, blew them out. I believe it was 20-0. Lou lit them up. So now you coming with Lou and this offense with Prince Mo, with Ant, with Bo. We seen them starting to get their mojo back. Yomi. So that's a big thing to decide as far on that side. On the other side, Chuck coming in, possibly can win MVP, second league in touchdown passes. Offense is third in scoring with the least amount of talent he's ever played with. Definitely something to talk about. But we've seen this DG team just last game have 2 pick sixes to beat Never Scared. Lou has thrown 4 pick sixes this season. So that's something to be talked about. But Grindtime, top defense. I believe there was number 3 in defense. What do you see in that game? And remember, this also leaks over, similar to what Jigga said. Last time Chuck had an opportunity to beat Grindtime to go to a championship, he was out of town. Grindtime played Carver Mob, beat him 20-0, sending them to the championship. Grindtime. This is the opportunity, and this is the rematch that now Chuck has, Pams has, to go back at Grindtime.
Yeah.
Playing that game, they didn't have Chuck. They have Chuck now. What do you think you're going to see as far as that game?
Me personally, one thing I gotta say is DG's defense has really surprised me in the playoffs. In that last game they played and got the job done against the Sharks. They played and got 2 pick sixes against this Never Scared team, who was one of the tops in scoring. So
number
this
2 in
defense,
scoring.
yes. So this defense has surprised me in so many ways, and I see them having another good game, giving Grindtime a run for their money. So I see these teams going back and forth, and I think defense is going to be the name of the game in this battle between these two teams. But I think that I really believe that I see DG sneaking away a win 13-7 against Grindtime. Both teams have great defenses. I think the offense it's going to be the offense that gets the job done more so than not. And I think that people like Wes, Cable are going to be key in this game. Dash, of course, he's going to get the focus on this Grindtime defense, so they may be able to take him out of the game. But then you got guys, like I said, Wes and Cable. You have Megatron as also an option, who's been stepping up his game in the last couple of games. I see him having a couple of key plays in this game as well. And with protection from Timmy, giving Chuck that extra time, I think that they're going to come away with that win 13-7.
All right. We're going to wrap this one up. We're going to thank y'all guys for joining the show. 2 more shows left in the UFL. 2 more shows left. So hope y'all ready for that. We're going to thank y'all. Shout to everybody. Much love on this Martin Luther King show as we wrap up the show now. We're going to thank everybody. We're going to be having an All-Star game January 30th. We asked all the players that made the team. You'll see it on Instagram to please come. We only ask for each of you going to get a hat. You're going to get a shirt. You'll see it on the website. Everything will be, you'll see it on the show on Instagram. We'll show what it look like. Definitely something great. We know y'all going to enjoy it. We just asked the players to bring $5 for the ref fee for the All-Star game. And we're going to thank y'all, man. So on behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J, my partner Ghost. We're going to see y'all guys next week on another episode of Real Tough Talk. We'll see who's in the chip. See y'all guys later. We out of here. All right.